Welcome to the beach on a rather rainy day. Got my umbrella here for the Gene Key contemplation of Gene Key 1. The shadow is entropy, the gift is freshness, and the Siddhi is beauty. Gene Key 1. Gene Key 1 represents the prime yang, and it goes hand in hand with Gene Key 2, which is prime yin. I remember doing Gene Key 2 contemplation in the summer. And the 4 pillars of the I Ching, which has 64 hexagrams I've spoken about, and the 4 universal pillars are these Gene Key 1 or hexagram 1, 2, 63, and 64. Beauty, unity, truth, and illumination. And they all have a beautiful play and dance together. But before we get into beauty, the Siddhi of this Gene Key, let's dive into the shadow. The lower frequency expression of this Gene Key is entropy, and it has everything to do with the loss of our energy by not being willing to embrace the numbness that we all have. To not be able to sit in that bored state or the blank state, as Richard Rudd says, the gap, the pause. Everything is created, prime yin, out of the void, prime yang. And we need these pauses in our life. But with entropy, we leak energy all over the place, basically to avoid the pause or the numb feeling. And Richard Rudd has a really great exercise that he invites the listener in the audio to put your hand on your heart and just feel. What do you feel? Do you feel openness and joy and magic? Or do you feel nothing? Do you feel sadness? Can you get in touch with a numbness? And it's perfectly normal to feel nothing. And that's where everyone in the shadow is. And that's the awakening journey starts when you're willing to even feel the numbness and recognize that it's there. And going back to this leaking of energy, we will do all sorts of things to avoid feeling this, of being silent, being in the silence, of having a gap, of allowing yourself to feel bored instead of pick up the phone or go get something to eat, or feel like we have to do something, and we'll waste so much energy in doing things. And as he says, this is the type of exhaustion at night that you're so exhausted and so unfulfilled at the same time, versus the idea of going to bed completely exhausted and completely fulfilled. And that brings us to the gift level of freshness. Freshness is all about being creative, which all the gifts are about being creative, and being fresh and innovative, being a pioneer and daring to step out of the void and into life itself. This is the codon ring of fire, this prime yang, the energy of fire, and allowing that spark to ignite, our passion to ignite, and blaze a path that has never been blazed before, our own unique path. And to invite creativity in, we have to be willing to make mistakes. As Richard Rudd mentions, every great invention happens as a result of trial and error and patience and frustration. So freshness is all about embracing that creative spark and not being afraid to fail or make a mistake. And beauty, the Siddhi, the highest level, beauty. Beauty, as he describes, goes hand in hand with the second gene key, Siddhi of Unity. And we can only see true beauty or feel true beauty when we understand that we are all one. When we have had some sort of illumination of truth, the unity of all things that allows us to see beauty. And it's not an external beauty necessarily, and we all try to chase beauty because it's something that can't be grasped. But in our human condition, we're so used to wanting to grab things and hold it and own it. But beauty is nothing that we can own. As Richard Rudd says, we cannot encapsulate beauty, but it's birthed in every moment. And this gift is about birthing something new. And I've debated about talking about the events, the political events, because never have I been into politics. But I do find human psychology interesting, and I do believe that we are in a very transformational period. I have a video I made a few years back in COVID called The Transformation Economy, and it's a paradigm shift video that's free on my website for anybody who wants to dive deeper into this conversation. But we are all awakening, and we are, as a humanity, in a kind of collective dark night of the soul. Not everyone, but I think the majority is being awakened to the truth of perceived reality. And when you awaken to a truth, there can be a lot of judgments and a lot of feelings of betrayal and mistrust and getting caught up in picking sides. But in unity, there are no sides. You understand that everything is one. So whatever is going on in events outside of us, whether that's relationships, whether that's politics, it's an opportunity for us to look at what's going on inside of us and being so self-responsible, radically responsible for what we're truly feeling. If it's numbness, or if we're feeling the numbness, or we're feeling rage, or we're feeling betrayed or confused, as soon as we blame that on anything or anyone or any situation, we fall into a victim, which is the shadow state. And this time of true awakening is to understand that truth is within us. Truth is inside each one of us, and it's unique to us. But we have to be honest about what we really feel. And as Richard Rudd said in this gene key, he keeps pointing back to what we really feel, what you really feel as an individual. And then allowing the gaps of silence to be there. Because innovation, a new path, a new dawn can only be created from that void. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you feel called to share when you put your hand on your heart, what you feel or what you don't feel, everything is okay. Bringing a softness, a soft breath to our heart, and even whispering the words, it's okay, can go a very long way. I'll see you in the next video.